Hello, this is session number 2, and today we are going to discuss different data types which are available in Python. Though there are multiple data types which are available, we are going to discuss a few of the basic data types which are essential to start working with Python scripting. So we'll start with the basic data types now. So before starting the data types in Python, first we'll look at the print function, because even if we use any basic data type, we have to print some value on screen to see the output. So to print something on the screen, we need to use print function. Now, how Python interprets this function call, if I use a print function, as you can see in the screenshot, that I am writing print into bracket into double quotes, welcome to introduction to Python. And on next line, I am writing another print statement, first Python code. So what I am expecting is it should print welcome to introduction to Python on line number 1 and first Python code on line number 2. And that is what it is actually doing. If you look at the output, it is doing the same thing. So this is the syntax of print function. Syntax means rules, how to write specific function, how to write specific value, how to run the instructions. So there are some rules to do all these things, and that set of rules is nothing but the syntax of the programming language. So this is the syntax of print function. You have to write print, all are small case characters, and then opening and closing round brackets. Into double quotes, you have to write your message, whatever you want to display on the screen. Now, how Python interprets this print function call? Python checks if the function invocation is correct, whether the spelling print is correct or not, if you have by mistake written capital P instead of small p. So all these things are first checked by Python. So function invocation, it also includes whether you have given the round brackets or not, whether you have given the double quotes or not. So all these things which are part of syntax are first checked. Then if correct, if there are no problems, no errors, then Python leaves your code and jumps into the function body. So when I say print is a function, that means somewhere the meaning of this print has been written. What to do when I write print, that meaning has been written somewhere. So print means instruction number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you follow these 5 instructions, this message will get printed on the screen. So that meaning is written somewhere. So if all the syntax and all the rules are correct, then Python leaves your code, this code, and jumps into the function body, of print function. It executes the function body, it will execute whatever the instructions are written in the print function body. And at last, Python returns to your code. Because we have executed the function body, you will see the output, welcome to introduction to Python on the screen. So whenever you call any function, for a moment, the control will go out of your own code into the function body of print function, will execute print function and will come back to your code with the output. That is how a function is executed in Python. And this is how the print function will be executed. Now we can use multiple special characters, escape characters, and multiple keyword arguments with print function just to make the output better. So in this slide, we are going to see the use of escape character and newline character. The backslash, this backslash is called as escape character, and we can use multiple combinations of this backslash. One of the combinations is n. Escape character is a kind of announcement that the next character has a different meaning. So when I put n after backslash, it has a different meaning. If I put t after backslash, it has a different meaning, likewise. So when letter n is placed after backslash, then it means new line. Whatever the print function is going to print, it should print on the new line. So you can see in the code snippet that I'm writing a print function with the argument as welcome to introduction to Python, but the only change is I'm writing backslash n before introduction, the word introduction. So if you look at the output, it will print welcome to as it is, as it should print using the print function body. Because of backslash n, the control will go to the next line, new line, and then it will print the remaining part of the print body, that is introduction to Python. That is the use of backslash n. We can also use a few keyword arguments like end and separate. So first we'll see the use of end as a keyword argument. Every print starts output on a new line by default. When you say print and some message, by default this print means start printing from the new line. Now we can use the keyword argument. The first one is end, and then we can use equal to and some text. We'll see the use of this double quotes also to print specific string at the end of the print function. The string assigned to the end can be of any length. So if you can look at the code snippet, print welcome to introduction to Python. But after comma, what I'm doing is I'm writing end is equal to into double quotes star. So what this means is by default when I say print, it will print this whole string. Then it will go to the next print function. It will try to print the first Python code as a new string on the new line. But now I'm telling the interpreter while executing this print function, display welcome to introduction to Python as it is on the screen, and then display a star as a character at the end of the output. So it will display the star at the end of the output of this line. That means the new line, which is the default new line \n for every print function, is replaced by this star. So if you look at the output, welcome to introduction to Python, at the end of this string, it is printing star, and immediately it is starting with the next output, which is first Python code. So ideally, if I am not writing this end, this first Python code should be present on the next line. So that is the use of end keyword. Now look at second example. Welcome to introduction to Python, and for end, I am giving a new string /n. This is output of end, again /n. So I'm expecting that after end of printing of this string, the print function should go to the new line, should print this is output of end, again should go to the new line, and then start continue with the next function call, which is print first Python code. So if you look at the output, welcome to introduction to Python is the first output line. Because of this end keyword argument, I'm going to the new line. Then this is output of end is getting printed on the next line. Again, because of \n, I'm going to the new line, and first Python code is getting printed on the third line. So this is the output you get because of this end keyword argument. Next keyword argument is SEP, which stands for separator. So we can use separator to print specific string as a separator between the multiple strings. So the separator will be inserted in between all the print arguments. Look at first example, print welcome to introduction to Python. The only change is I am trying to print multiple strings in one print function. So this is not one line, these are multiple strings separated by comma. And the last argument is SEP, which is separator is equal to into double quotes, I am printing a dash minus sign. What this means is whenever this print function is trying to print the all these strings on the screen, after printing first string, it will put a separator as a symbol on the screen. Then again it will print the second string, again the separator, again the third string, again the separator, and so on. So it will put this separator string in between all the string prints which I am trying to display on the screen. And then the next print function is first Python code, which will be displayed as it is. So if you look at the output, welcome dash to dash introduction to dash Python. So dash has been getting is getting printed as a separator between multiple strings. And then again print first Python code will get printed as it is on the next line. As we have discussed, print will start its execution always from the new line. Look at the second example. Instead of slash, now I'm giving \n as the separator, that is new line. So every string is getting printed on the new line. Welcome to introduction to Python. And this print first Python code is a normal print function call, which is getting printed on the last line. So this is how you can use end and separator as keyword arguments with print function, just to modify your output of print function. Now you can use both separator and end together in one print function. So if you look at this example, print welcome to introduction to Python. We are trying to print multiple strings. I'm trying to put a separator of dash star dash in between all the strings, and at the end I'm expecting two new lines, that is backslash and backslash n. It should go to the next to next new line for the next operation, which is the print operation using Python code. So if you look at the output, while printing the first message, while that is welcome to introduction to Python, it is putting all the separators in between all the strings, dash star dash and likewise. And at the end of the print command of first print output, it is also printing the two backslash n. So first backslash n, it will come to the next line, second backslash n is come to the next line, and then it will start printing the next message, which is using Python code. So you can use the combination of separator and end as per your requirement in one print function. Next concept is literals. As the name suggests, literally it is just a value. A literal is data whose values are determined by itself. Example, if you look at this example, 123, this is a number 123. Can you guess what the value is? The value represented here is, yes, it is 123. We don't know what is the type of data or something else. We are not going into the complex concepts. For us, it is just a value, 123. Now look at this second example. It's a character C. Now can you guess what value is represented here? We don't know what is the value of C. It is just a character. It can be a symbol for speed of light, or it can be a symbol for tax rate, for income tax calculation, or it can be something else also. There are many possibilities. So 123 is a literal, which is the actual value. We know the value. C is a character. It is not a literal because we don't know the value. The meaning of C can be anything. So that is how we can have literals. The literal can be a number, literal can be a character, literal can be a string, literal can be a complex number, literal can be a floating point number. That we'll discuss in further sessions. But literal is when the value is determined by literal itself, then that is a literal value. For example, if I say print into double quotes 1, 2, 3, it is printing 1, 2, 3. And if I say print without double quotes 1, 2, 3, it is also printing 1, 2, 3. But the difference is in both the things, this 1, 2, 3 because of double quotes becomes a string 1, 2, 3. And this 1, 2, 3 because we don't have double quotes becomes a number 1, 2, 3. So this example shows two different literals, a string literal and an integer literal. Number systems, integers and floats. So whenever you say number system in Python, actually we have three different types of number systems. We are going to discuss third also. The first one is integers, which represents complete numbers or discrete numbers, the whole number system. The second type is floating point numbers, which represent fractions or continuous numbers. And the third one is a complex number. So we'll discuss complex numbers in further sessions. So these are the two basic number systems, integers and floats. The characteristics of numeric value, which determines its kind, range, and application, is called as type. So if you want to know a specific type of any number, if we are not sure, then we can just use this type function to know the type of that numbering system. For example, if you look at the snippet, I'm writing print into bracket. Now I'm calling type function and I'm giving argument as 1, 2, 3 without double quotes. And in second print function, I'm giving 1, 2, 3 as argument with double quotes. And in third print function for type, I'm giving 1.23 as argument. So because 1, 2, 3 without double quotes is a complete number, a whole number. So you can look at the output. The output is int. The type of this number 1, 2, 3 is int. Now why it is class int, we'll discuss it in further sessions, but the type of the number 1, 2, 3 is integer number. It's a whole number. Type of double quotes 1, 2, 3, because of double quotes it becomes string, str. So the second output is str, string. It's a string. And the third output is, because it is 1.23, the type is float. So if you want to know the type of specific value, specific number, specific literal, specific variable, you can use this type function. In Python, we can also use octal and hexadecimal numbers. If a number is preceded by 0 O or 0 capital O. So this first is 0, numeric 0, and then the second character is either small o or capital O, 0 O. Then this number is treated as octal value. And if the number is preceded by 0x, x can be small or capital. This is numeric 0 followed by x, small or capital 0x, then it is treated as an hexadecimal value. So it depends whether you want to use number as integer or octal or hexadecimal. You can use these notations. For example, if you look at the code snippet, if I'm trying to print the type of 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, O, 1, 2, 3. So when I say 0, O, this print will understand, or this type will understand 0, O means the number which is present after 0, O is octal number. Now when I say octal, you have to be very careful. When I say octal, the possible symbols for octal are 0 to 7. So we cannot use any numbers which are 8 or above 8, 8, 9 kind of thing. So the symbol range for octal is 0 to 7. Similarly, for the symbol range for hexadecimal is 0 to 15. So you can use all the numbers which are between 0 to 15, that means 0 to 9, and from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you can use the characters as A, B, C, D, E, F. So you must be aware of all these things. If not, then you can go to the Google and you can find out what are the different numbering system like octal number, hexadecimal number, binary number, and everything. Now if I print the value in the second output, you can see I'm trying to print the value with 0, O, 1, 2, 3. Now when I say 0, O, though I am giving 1, 2, 3, that is 123 as input, because it is octal 123, the print function is trying to print the integer of octal 123. So internally what we are trying to do is we are trying to convert this octal number into decimal number. Okay, so you have to be aware of all the conversions, how to convert octal into decimal, hexadecimal into decimal, and all these things. So the decimal of octal 123 is 83, and the decimal of hexadecimal 123 is 291. So you can calculate on your own by using the conversion methods for octal to decimal and hexadecimal to decimal. The next number system is floating point number system. The fractional numbers, the continuous numbers. For very small or very large floating point numbers, Python uses more economical way to represent these numbers, which is IEEE format or exponential format. So if my if my floating point number is like 3.5, 2.7, 1.345, which is a normal small numbers, we can use them as it is. But if you try to use a very large or very small fractional number, the Python follows IEEE format or exponential format. So in this case, if you look at the code snippet, if I am trying to print this value, it is getting printed as 3.8 e minus 16. This means it is 3.8 into 10 raised to minus 16. So when I say 10 raised to minus 16, it comes to this value only. But instead of using this much of space and trying to represent this value in this format, Python uses this economical way of presenting the same value using IEEE format or exponential format. The next number system is Boolean values. These are used to represent very abstract value like truthfulness. Each time you ask Python if one value is greater than another, Python returns the answer in specific data, which is a Boolean value, which is true or false. So these are the possible Boolean values, true and false. You have to remember that these values are very case sensitive. That means the capital T is compulsory and capital F is compulsory. So these values are case sensitive. You cannot change anything. You have to type true and false as it is. You have to take these symbols as they are, including case sensitivity. So if you look at the code snippet, I'm trying to compare true and false. We are going to look at all the operators in next session. So equal operator is to compare the two values. Less than greater than is to compare again two values. So I'm trying to compare whether true and false are equal. True and false can never be equal, so output is false. I'm trying to check whether true is less than false. True cannot be less than false. True is like 1, false is like 0. So true has to be greater than false. So the output of second line is false and true is greater than, and true is greater than false. So the output is true. If you look at the second code snippet, if I'm trying to type, if I'm trying to print type of true and type of false, you'll get the output as bool, which stands for Boolean. So this is the next number system, which is Boolean values. The last type of data, which is a basic data type, is string. Strings need quotes. So whatever you write in double quotes is getting represented as a string in Python data type. Just the way we need a decimal point in case of floating point numbers. So if you look at the first code snippet, I am writing print into bracket into double quotes, I am a string. So this becomes a string because it is present in double quotes. And if I try to print the type of this value, double quotes, I am a string, you can get the output as class string. That means the type of this value is string. It's a string value. You can use escape characters to print quotes inside the string, because now we are dealing with strings. I'm just giving one small information to you, that if you want to type my name is Yatinzo, and in that if you want to put double quotes for Yatinzo, you cannot just put two double quotes before Y and two double quotes after G, because double quotes itself is a kind of escape character for print itself. So what you can do is print my name is, you can give instruction to print function that backslash, that means whatever is the next character has a special meaning, has a different meaning. So don't consider this double quotes as the ending double quotes for the first double quote. So this double quote will get printed as it is. It will start printing all the characters again. Again, backslash means the next character has a different meaning. So don't consider this double quote as the ending double quote for the first double quote. It will print this double quotes as it is. And because now this double quotes is normal double quotes, it will stop the print function. So this is how you can type the quotes or any special characters inside a string if you want to put double quotes inside a string. Now this is your string. My name is into double quotes, it's your complete string value. Now we will try to execute all the code snippets in the Jupyter notebook. So we'll start with the first code where we have discussed the use of print function. So this is the code. So I'm trying to print these two lines, welcome to introduction to Python, and on next line I'm trying to print first Python code. So if I just type these two lines and if I run the code, you'll get the output which we have discussed already. Welcome to introduction to Python on line number 1 and first Python code on line number 2. Now we will try to print the next line with a backslash n. So this is the use of backslash n. So I'm expecting welcome to on line number 1 and introduction to Python on line number 2. So if I run this code, it will print welcome to on line number 1 and introduction to Python on line number 2. Now we'll try to use print function with the keyword argument end. So I'm trying to print end. I'm trying to print star at the end of the print of first line, printing of first line. So if I run this code, you can see welcome to introduction to Python, and then it is not printing new line. It is not going to the new line for the next print function. It is typing star as the end character, and then it is typing the second line as it is. This is first Python code. Now if you look at the next code where we can use /n and multiple characters, a long string for the end. So you can look at this code. So welcome to introduction to Python, and then I'm giving the long string as the end character, as the end string. And if I run this code now, it will print this output of end as the second line, because that is what we have given in the end string. Now next, we are trying to use separator. So this is the separator function, a separator keyword. So if I now try to run this code, you'll get dash as a separator in between all the strings which are part of print function. Okay. Now, next is we are trying to use /n, \n as a separator. Yes, we can do that. So if I use \n as separator, what we can expect is every word will be displayed on the new line. So if I run this code, this is my output because of /n as a separator. Now the next code is where we are going to use separator and end together. So yes, we can use separator and end together. So in this code, you can see I'm using separator also and end also. So if I run this code, this is my output, which we have already discussed, that it will print separator in between all these strings as part of print function. And at the end, it will print two new lines. Now the next code is where we are trying to print the literal values, one string literal and one is the character or the string literal and the integer literal. So if I run this code, the first is 123 as a string 123. It's not a value 123, and the second is the value 123, but both are literals because we know the values of both the literals. So this is string literal 123 and this is integer literal 123, 123. So if you want to type the what is the type of data, what is the data type of all these values, you can use the type function in the print. So if you run this code, the type of first is integer, this is integer 123, second is it is a string 123. So though the digits are present 1, 2 and 3, these are not numerical 1, 2, 3, these are 1, 2, 3 as characters. It is just like ABC. It is just like ABC. And then the type of third is float. Then we have also discussed the octal and hexadecimal. Yes. And now I have also told you how to read the error. Now if you look at the second line, by mistake instead of 0, I am putting small o. Now if I try to run this code, the first line is perfect. So it will print int, class int as the output of type. So the type of this is integer, but the second line has a problem. So it is telling me the location. That second line has a problem. And what is the problem? That this 0x, so small ox123 is not defined. That is the problem. That means I have done something wrong while writing this value. So there is no meaning to 0x in Python. We have to ox in Python, we have to write 0x. So this small o should be replaced by 0. That is the meaning. So we can correct that problem as we have found out that what is the problem. And now if I put 0 instead of small o, now and if I try to run this code, I'm getting output as integer. So both the data types are integer. And then now if I try to print the decimal values of this octal and hexadecimal values, instead of printing the data type of these values, I'm trying to print the decimal values. So just use these values directly with print and you'll get the decimal of octal 123 is 83 and the decimal of hexadecimal 123 is 291. So this is about the numerical data types. Now looking at the strings, yes, if you want to print a string, you can directly use a print function, a normal function. Yes, I am a string. So this is a string literal. You can say again, it's a collection of multiple characters, but at the end it is a string literal. If I want to type the, if I want to type, if I want to know the data type of this string, then what I can use is I can just use type, and at the end I have to put another closing bracket for type function, one for print function, one for type function. If I try to run this code, string, yes, the type of this literal is string, it's a string literal. Now how to print double quotes inside a string? Yes, we have seen that we have to put a backslash and double quotes. Suppose if I remove this, if I just try to print something like this, because I am expecting that this print should understand that my name is, it should print double quote as it is, Yatin Zog as it is, double quotes again and again, double quotes for ending double quotes of this starting double quotes of print function. You can see the color has changed. So print is expecting that the first string has finished here at this double quotes. So it is considering this double quotes as the part of syntax of print function. So to tell print function that this double quotes has a different meaning, I have to put a backslash, which is the escape character. Similarly, for this double quote, I have to give a backslash, which is the escape character. Now print will understand this double quotes is part of the string, this double quotes is part of the string, and now this double quotes is part of the print syntax. And now if I try to run this code, now I'm getting my name is and double quotes inside the string. So this is how you can use the escape characters also. Now talking about Boolean values, we have discussed Boolean values also. So we'll try to run this code. So print, I'm trying to compare whether true and false are equal, less than or greater than. If I try to run this code, I'm getting this output, false, false and true, which we have already discussed. If you want to print the type, what is the type of true and false, which are Boolean values. You can use type with Boolean values also. Yes, like this, type into bracket true and type into bracket false. And if I try to run this code, I will get class Boolean. That means the data type of these values are, these are Boolean values. So this is all what we have discussed. So these are the built-in data types. Text type, we have string. Numeric types, we have integer and float. We are not going to discuss complex at early stage. Sequence types, yes, we have list, tuples, range and dictionary. DICT stands for dictionary. So all these things we are going to discuss in the last few sessions. Set types, we have set and frozen set. Boolean type, we have discussed bool, and binary types like bytes, byte array and memory view. So these are built-in data types of Python, but we don't need all these data types right now. So we have discussed very basic data types which are required to start with scripting in Python, like string, integer and float. And in some cases for comparison, we need Boolean. So we have discussed only these 4 basic data types. So that's it for our session number 2, where we have discussed print function, literals, integers, floating point numbers, strings, and Boolean values. Thank you.